Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Fast Track to Sales Coordinator call. And very excited every week we bring on someone who's going to help you. Maybe it's that one little tweak that you need to make to take yourself and your business to your sales coordinator level and helping everybody else. That is really the leadership, where leadership begins, is at the sales coordinator position. And super excited to have this amazing leader on with us this afternoon. He is just amazing, consistent, and just creating major duplication, because you can be a great leader, but the way you become a great leader is by being a great duplicator. And that's really what Tyler Verding. Love this kid. I'm sorry I called you a kid, but kid. So amazing young man who's really on a mission. He's 23 years old. He's a fitness major, and so he's in college, about to graduate this year. He's been a personal trainer for 2 years. He lives in Wisconsin and been in the Juice Plus business since May. He loves the relationships he's created over the past 7 months, and the freedom and the opportunity that's provided him has been able to help him quit his full-time job. So he's going to go into a little bit more depth with regards to, so he's been in the business for 7 months, is creating major duplication everywhere. He's a sales coordinator, very close to being a senior sales coordinator, and I know an NMD very shortly, but not just for him, but for everyone else around him. But I would take great notes. I'd really have your notebook out, because he is growing very quickly. And he's really, he understands that this is a business. It's not something to be taken lightly. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to Tyler to share with you what he learned and some nuggets to help grow your business. So thanks, Tyler.
Awesome. Thanks for the awesome introduction. So first off, obviously, I'm Tyler. I'm going to start by just talking about my stories a little bit, because if I've learned anything from the business, like, stories are key. Like, that's your biggest thing. So for me personally with the product, I'm like Lauren said, I'm in college. I'm a fitness major, and everyone here probably knows who Luke Wren is. And he came and spoke to one of my classes, and I learned more from him in an hour than I learned in an entire semester from that teacher. So when he invited me to a live event for Juice Plus, I was like, okay, I'll come check it out. I kind of have to. I mean, if I learned so much from you in an hour, why wouldn't I come check it out? So I went in and I listened. And at first I was skeptical, because I was that guy that, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a fitness guy. I know my stuff. I know what to take, all that good stuff. So I didn't catch on right away. And I decided no right away. And then they followed up with me a couple more times. And it wasn't until the third meeting where I was sitting with Luke. It was a one-on-one meeting, and I just got done lifting, and I was drinking a whey protein shake. And I don't know if any of you have ever actually done research on whey protein. It's very bad for your body. And I don't know if you've ever listened to Luke talk. He's very in your face about that kind of stuff. So when he saw me drinking that, he's like, hey, what are you drinking? I was like, well, I'm drinking my protein shake. I just got done lifting. And he got about this close to my face and told me whey protein is shit. When this big dude comes up to you and says something that to you, you have to pay attention. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. I got in the business right away with it as well, because it was normal. It was common sense to me that if I liked what I saw, I was going to talk to people about it. I did that already with the other supplements I was taking, so why wouldn't I? Right away, I saw incredible changes as far as my energy levels go. I was that guy at work that would always sit around like this, not really do anything. And within a week, I was getting my stuff done, and I had a little bit extra energy, and people were noticing right away. Another big change for me was my sleep. I was that guy that didn't know that the day started before 11 a.m. I was that guy that just slept in all the time. But now I'm waking up earlier, but when I wake up, I actually have energy, and I'm actually ready to go. My biggest change is that in May, I was 225 pounds. Put your hand in front of the screen if you would take advice from an overweight trainer. Good. No one put their hand in front of the screen. That was me. And now I'm down to 195 pounds, but I haven't changed anything really besides taking Juice Plus. And by default, because when you eat better, you feel better, and you crave better, you eat better food. So my diet has improved a little bit as well. But that's not the best part about it. The biggest part has been the business for me, because through the business, I've been able to share it with my family and my friends and everyone like that. And my mom's in the business, my aunt's in the business, my cousin's in the business, my stepdad's in the business, my brother's in the business now. And he's about to VF this month. My best friend Brian's in the business. He's looking to SC this month. It's stuff like that it's tough for me to really put a price on. Like, I love the money that you can make with this, but I love what I've done with them. Like, the relationships we've built have been crazy. And I know that where we can go, or where I want to go, is where everyone else wants to go. And obviously they're welcome to come along for the ride. And they're doing it quickly. And that's kind of what our team is about, is massive action, right? So you start and you get at it right away. You want to do a launch event. Like, for me personally, Luke said when I started, he goes, all right, well, we have an event this day and this day. What you need to do is invite people to it, and that's how you're going to grow. So right away, in the first 9 days, we had 2 events, and I VF'd within 9 days because I just followed the system of invite. And then from there, it's just getting my story. Like, right there, I told you my stories in a couple minutes, and that's usually longer than it takes me. So, like, the first thing I'll tell everyone on this is to get your story straight, right? Know why you're taking the product, how you felt before the product, how you feel on the product, and what you feel moving forward from the product. But it has to be short and sweet, like 30 seconds to a minute, 2 minutes maybe, because when people talk, people get very bored, and people really don't want to hear what you have to say unless you can keep it quick and then move to the next person and keep it going. And then it's the same thing with the business. Keep it short and sweet unless you're doing something like in person or more personal and people really are there just to listen to what you're saying. Then maybe go a little longer, more in depth. But when you're just talking to a group of people or you're on an event call or something, it's got to be short and sweet, or else people tune out and they just start to drag, because the excitement starts to waver. Like, people can be really pumped up within 30 seconds, but if they keep talking, you can hear it in their voice that they're going to start to get a little not as pumped up. And when you start to lose energy, your listener starts to lose energy. When the listener loses energy, they're not going to want to be part of it anymore. Like, you want to be able to watch yourself tell your story, and it's supposed to be so powerful that you want to sign up from watching yourself. Like, if you rehearse yourself on video and then you go back and watch, you should be like, get me going. I'm pumped. That's what I want to be a part of. It's stuff like that has really affected me, is getting my stories down and knowing what to say, and then just keeping it short, sweet, and powerful. You got to sound excited and certain. Certainty is the biggest thing that I've been working on lately, is really being confident when I talk to people. Because if I'm not certain, how can they buy it? How can they believe what I'm saying? If I come into them and I'm like, well, this Juice Plus, I mean, it's fruits and vegetables, it's in a capsule. I mean, it's good for you. It'll probably help you. But they're not gonna, that doesn't interest you. But if I come into you and I say it's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, what can it help? It's going to help you with this or this or this. I can't tell you exactly what it's going to help, because that's not possible for me to predict the future, but I know it will help you with something. This is what I recommend to you. People are going to respond a little bit better than that, as long as you come off like you care. So the biggest thing to start with is getting your stories down. And then the second thing I'm just going to touch on, sort of my DMO, is what I do throughout every single day, is talking to people, especially on Facebook. By talking to people, I don't mean cold calling. I hate cold calling, so I'm never messaging someone saying, hey, I have an opportunity for you. You should check this out. Because have any of you ever had that, where the latest, greatest dealer is like, hey, I have this awesome opportunity. You'd be great at it. You could make this much money this quickly. You should do this. People don't respond well to that. I've been approached 3 different times by 3 different people to join their network marketing business, and I instantly just say no and move on, because I don't want to be approached by like that. And I know if I don't want to be approached like that, the people I want in my business don't want to be approached like that. So basically my conversations are, hey, how are you? Pretty easy, right? Pretty easy to type 4 words, hey, how are you? And then copy paste to the next person. And then just ask them questions about their life. Get to know them as a person, because people really don't care what you have to say about your product unless they know that you actually care about them. Because if you go into it with a business mindset thinking, or only a business mindset thinking, man, I just need to get them on the product, that's all I need to do, you're probably, if they do get on the product, they're probably not going to stay lifelong customers or become that raving fan, or they're just going to tune you out, because people can see through the crap. They know when you actually care, and they know when you're just trying to make a sale. So you need to come off as really caring about what they're saying to you, and you just ask them questions about their life. How are you doing? What are you doing for work these days? And let it guide itself to Juice Plus. because eventually it will. Because there's a lot of people most people are out there looking for a different opportunity. A lot of people aren't happy in their current jobs. So when you ask them questions about their work and how they like that and actually care about what their responses are, um, they're going to respond better to you. And you say, well, hey, I have this thing I just started doing. I'd love for you to check it out. It's just fruits and vegetables in a capsule. I'd love for you to come to one of my events, stuff like that. And when they say, well, what is it? Just say, very basically, it's fruits and vegetables in a capsule and shake. And I'd love for you to come to the event. You can hear some stories, check it out, and see if it's for you. And when they're like, well, I don't really have time for that. And then they're like, well, I'm busy that day. Well, you say, well, okay, I have an online event. You come check out that on Zoom. If they're too busy for that, you send them a recorded event. And if they can't seem to get to an event, that's okay. Just give them some space and come back to them. But never forget that you need to continue to talk to people, and then continue to go back to talk to the people that you already have spoken to. Because if I come talk to you and say, hey, how are you? And then share the opportunity with you, and you're like, well, I'm not really that interested at this point. Maybe later or something. If I never come back and talk to you again, does that show that I'm confident in what I'm doing? Probably not. Like people, if you share it with someone one time, never talk to them again after they don't respond how you want them to, they're probably not going to ever be part of your business, because you need to go back and talk to them, because you need to be confident in what you're doing. And then another thing as far as Facebook goes is Facebook posts. I learned are incredible. I've been learning over time are just the most ridiculously important thing that I've been able to do lately. I listened to a lady that's part of Katie Ravy's team talk about her social media, and she literally posts 20 times a day on Facebook. And because of the reason for that is that they're different things. You're posting result pictures, product pictures, motivational stuff, personal stuff, recipes, stuff like that. So you're adding value to people's accounts. So when they look at your Facebook, they're like, wow, this person is trying to help me with stuff, not just spamming me with Juice Plus. But at the same time, not everyone will see every post you make. Like when we were listening to that call, she asked Katie, I posted 20 times a day. How many times have you seen it? And she's like, well, maybe 3. I mean, 3 out of 20 is not very many. So it's not that you're annoying people. It's that you're just trying to reach your entire audience. And you can't do that if you only post once or twice a day. So if you're not using Facebook, use Facebook. Facebook is a huge tool that we can use, especially now. Everyone's on Facebook. It's very, very easy to get on there. And it's very easy to add people to groups. It's really easy to talk to a massive amount of people. Not saying that talking one-on-one or phone calls or text messages isn't a good idea, because it is. But you can reach a much broader audience in a lot of different areas, a lot easier with Facebook. But so maybe you reach out to these people and they're interested and they get on an event or they go to an event, and you have to follow up with them, right? Because the fortune's in the follow-up. You can't just expect them to come to you and say, wow, I really like that, get me started. There are some people that would be like that, but most people won't. So the most important thing for follow-ups is what we've adapted in our team, and I would definitely write these down. These are 4 questions that we ask every single person that gets on an event. The first question, what did you find most interesting about the event? No, you don't ask, what did you like about it, or anything like that, because they could say nothing, and you don't want that response. You want the response of what they like, because it automatically puts a positive spin on it. So when you say, what did you find most interesting about the event? And they're going to tell you, and you respond with, well, tell me more about that. And listen, really care about what they're responding to you. And after that, you think, after they ask that again, if maybe you think there's more to it than that, like they're really kind of interested in the business, but they aren't really too specific, ask them, tell me more about that again. Really care about their responses. And then the next one is, well, what could something like this be for you? Whether they're interested in the business or the product, you ask them, what could something like this be for you? And then when they answer, you say, well, tell me more about that. Really listen to what they're saying about that too, because that is where people can really start to open up and really explain what it can be. And for some people, the opportunity could really drastically change their life. And you could ask them, tell me more about that 4 or 5 times when you ask them what it could be for you, because it could really, really be something for someone. Like it could be someone who's a struggling mom who is really looking for something different to really help support her kids who's really struggling, stuff like that. And people want to feel that personal connection. So the more you ask questions, the more they're going to like it. And then the next question, the third question, is what is your why? What drives you? What motivates you? And then tell me more about that and listen, because people need to know why they're doing it, and they'll tell themselves why they're doing it, even if they don't know it off the top of their head. And then the last question, whether it's product or business, if it's product, you say, what more do you need to know before you make the exciting decision to take control of your health? If it's business, what more do you need to know before making the exciting decision to join our team? So again, for product, what more do you need to know to make the exciting decision to take control of your health? Business, what more do you need to know to make the exciting decision to join our team? Because and be excited when you say that kind of stuff, because people need to feel you. Like, I'm going to say that a lot. The excitement and the certainty, anything like that, is what you need to present to people. So 4 questions really fast. What interested you most? What could something like this be for you? What is your why, or what drives you? And what more do you need to know to make the exciting decision to either join our team or get control of your health? Something like that. And those are the questions we ask everyone that gets on our events, because they prompt good responses that people actually have to think about. We have ears, we're here to listen, so you let them tell you what the answers that you want, and you just keep asking them more questions, really get to know them as a person and really care about their needs. So those are my DMOs. It's talking to people, doing Facebook posts, doing events. Events are pretty simple. And then the follow-ups. Follow-ups are the big ones, making sure that we're always making sure we follow up with all of those people and asking those 4 questions. And then the last thing that I'll talk about is basically my motivation, what gets me going with this business, because every single day I'm pumped up on this, and there's a reason for it. It's because, for one thing, I love the lifestyle that it's creating for me. Like, just this last weekend, my girlfriend and I just took her to a hotel, and we went and had a whole weekend. We got away, had some fun. We had an impromptu time. We just decided to go to a hockey game just because we didn't want to go for a fancy dinner, because it's not necessarily what we always do. But we're like, hey, it's okay. We can just spur of the moment go do something fun like that. And that's something that I love. That's what this is creating for me, is it's making it so I can do those kind of things and not really have to worry about the financial side of it. But it's also so much more fun than being worried about, well, I can't do this getaway because I have to work, because I couldn't get it off. I don't have to worry about that right now, because this is all I do. And then the other thing, obviously for me, the big one is my health, and it's my family's health, and it's everyone's health, because obviously as a personal trainer and a fitness professional, graduating this year, health is a big deal for me. And when you look at something like this, that's so simple, a lot of people look at it and say, well, that's too good to be true, because it really does sound too good to be true, doesn't it? Fruits and vegetables in a capsule and a whole food shake. If you don't think that's too good to be true, that's crazy, because it's so simple, and people are afraid of simple, because not everything's made to be so complicated now, that when you present something this simple, people automatically put up a little bit of, like, they get a little defensive on it, like, how can it be that easy? But it is that simple. So for me, the health part is amazing, because I know it can do amazing things for a lot of people. Like, I've seen the changes in myself, I've seen it in my mom, I've seen it in my aunt, and it's just stuff like that that's crazy. My other motive, my big one though, is really caring about people, and that's people in your business, and that's people all around you, because you cannot do this business if you do not care. If you go into this business thinking, I'm going to make money and I'm just going to get people signed up and that's about it, that's not how it works. You need to be able to add value to people's lives. So when they order from you, you need to do something for them. You can't just get them their order and say, all right, well, now you're going to be healthy. You have to help them with their health. You have to figure out their goals. You have to check in with them. And maybe for some people, you have to make them some sort of program, or you have to do something with them to really keep them going. But you need to make sure you care, because when people, like I said earlier, if people see through the crap, and when you just are looking to get a sale, they're going to know it. And then for other people, maybe you don't need to take care of them that much, because they're going to see the results right away. But anyone who's successful in this business, from who I've talked to, will tell you that most of their best distributors come from raving fans. People that signed up as a customer to start, and then continued on the product, and they helped them out with their health, and they got them going so much that they couldn't help it, but they had to join the business. So if you're really pumped up about this and you go off to other people and you really care about them and get them the goals or get them the results they're looking to get, you might end up getting the best distributor in your business. And then the biggest rule that I tell my team, this is one of the last things I'll say, and it's totally a different subject. If you schedule an event, you do not cancel it under any circumstance. I mean, unless it's like an emergency. But we do events. We have an event tonight, tomorrow night live, tomorrow night online, Wednesday night online, Thursday night live, and Friday night online. We do not cancel those events unless it's an emergency, because if you show up to your events, eventually other people are going to show up to your events. Even if no one does or one person does, it's worth going, because you can spend time with your team and get to know them and get pumped up with them. Because I know for us personally, when we hang out together, we are so much more pumped up than when we hang out alone. Like, we usually make any excuse we can to hang out with each other, because proximity is power. And when you're pumped up and hanging out with your team and people that have a similar goal as you, that's going to help. So what I would say is, if you're going to do events, don't cancel them and make excuses to hang out with your teams, because the people around you are who you want to hang out with the most, because you're the sum of the people you hang around with. And if you don't go hang out with the people with the similar goals, you're probably not going to have those goals right in front of you the whole time. So for me, I mean, that's mostly what I have for you guys. The DMO is the motivation for me, and it's different for everyone. But the biggest thing for me is, I tell everyone to get on fire, all my team, because if you get on fire and you get certain and you get motivated right away and you are just burning, like, people can feel you're on fire, people will get in line to watch you burn. Yep. And people will come to you. So that's what I've got. Thank you, Lauren, for having me.
Can you wait on the line for a second we got 5 more minutes. It's funny because it's exactly what we talked about this morning, the power of events, the momentum of the events, keep doing the events. As I share with you, it's exactly what I share with everybody this morning, of when my team was really, and everybody, I had a couple of people really fired up when I started the business, and we were doing events like morning events, afternoon events, evening events, back to back, can't do that one. Okay, we'll come to this one. Can't do that one. We'll come to this one. So, love to just hear from you guys, what you got from that and what you learned, and any questions you might have. The 4 questions, again, so simple. We've posted them before, but if you can just get in the rhythm of those events, what did you find most interesting? Tell me more. What could something like this mean to you? Same thing. What drives you? What else do you need to know? Pretty easy, but you want to get that consistency going. And, you're fired up. People look and they go, I want to be like that. So what did you guys get from Tyler, and how can you move forward with this? And never canceling an event. Big one, huge one, no matter what. So what did you guys get from this call, and or from this event, and what can you do moving forward? Anyone want to share? Because you're all SCs.
Can I ask Tyler, when you say groups, I've got some groups, so do you just chat to people and you've mentioned what the products are, and then I'll add them into a group, for example?
Like for me, like as far as how the products go, like I don't add people in before they get signed up or anything. I don't have any like preview groups or anything like that. But like we have for our distributors, obviously we have the YOLO group, and then we have our personal group, the Boss Movement group, for our distributors, and then we have a customer support group that we add to. But like other than that, we don't have like preview groups or anything for the product yet. I don't know how we want to do that moving forward, because if you do, like as far as I look at the preview groups, is like if you add someone to a preview group, it kind of takes away the urgency to get on an event, and the event is where people feel it the most, and that's where people will sign up the most. So like a preview group for product would be kind of a good idea. It's just a little scary because people might look at that and say, well, why do I need to get on an event if I can just look at this?
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Questions, comments? Anyone? Need a good audience for you. We'll be posting this. What are your what's your vision? I'll just have, because I asked everybody this morning about their vision, Tyler. What's your vision that you see 3 to 5 years down the road for you with Juice Plus and with this?
Complete financial freedom. I want to be able to, like, I want to have, because in 3 to 5 years, I mean, that would mean I'd been with my girlfriend for 10 years at that point. So I would assume by then that I would have been able to afford a wedding by then. So the vision would be obviously a nice ring, a nice wedding, and then financial freedom, because by then I would believe I'd be looking for kids and stuff. So I mean, a way to have that source of income to support them and their health, obviously. I mean, that comes first, but I'd be able to support her, support the family and stuff like that, and basically be able to do what I want when I want, but still I don't ever see myself not doing this. You know, like even after financial freedom, still be like on fire all the time, because I mean, this is something you can do well into your old ages. Like, I mean, there's no reason to really ever stop. So I'm excited for that future.
Awesome. So he's got a vision, guys, just like we said, you know, really having that vision, really seeing it. And as he says, he sees himself still moving forward with the business, not just like I've arrived type of mentality. So I hope all of you guys created that vision for yourself. Tyler, thank you so much. I think this has been really helpful. Any assignment you'd like to give everybody? We'd like them to walk away with an assignment for this. Anything that you would like to share that you'd like to see people to kick them in the butt and really get Yes.
So what I've been challenging people to do, if you're uncertain or even if you're certain as can be, most of the time if it's a female, oh look at that, we only have females on the call. Cool. So for females, I always challenge people to go on Facebook and post "I am beautiful, smart, sexy, and strong" with a picture of yourself. Because the more you say stuff like that and the more you put yourself out there like that, you start to become that. You know, the more you say you are these things, the more you're going to become these things. And for guys, it's like gladiator, be strong, whatever. But I challenge everyone to go post that on Facebook, because the more you put it out there, the more you speak it, the more people are going to respond to you, and the more better you're going to feel about yourself when you say those kind of things.
Tyler, that's
something
awesome.
Easy, something fun.
And I was going to say thank you very much, because you helped me out, 2-3 months ago when I came to pick at your brains and stuff. And really, really fantastic. Really
See how many girls get up and do that? I'm going to do it too. So
I'm going to do it. Yeah, why not? Wicked.
Anybody, any final questions for Tyler? Love it. That's a great thing just to have your team do. You know, everybody post today, "I am beautiful, smart, sexy, and strong." You know, that's a great action item. Joss had that, give everybody something to do every single day. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tyler. Have a great
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day, everyone.